Morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Nika Stewart. I'm sitting here in the Ghost Tweeting offices this morning in New Jersey. And I ran into the office just for a quick bit, no makeup, nothing, just wanted to come in and quick talk to you about entrepreneurship. And then I'm running home and planning a bingo party at my house. My job here at Ghost Tweeting, we're a social media marketing management agency for entrepreneurs and thought leaders. We get them more visibility, more clicks to your website using social media. So we get you celebrity status on social media. Welcome if you're just coming in. I wanted to talk, instead of specifically social media today, I just wanted to talk about entrepreneurship. If you are an entrepreneur, give me a little thumbs up or a bunch of hearts so I know that you're here building a business for yourself. Great, wonderful. So we all tend to have a lot of the same struggles, and I wanted to talk about the things that I have learned over the years. I've been an entrepreneur since I can remember, since I graduated college 20-something years ago. So I've always had my own business. And when I'm not alone, when I'm learning from other people, it's so much easier. So I know now to always belong to groups, networking groups, mastermind groups, success groups. So I'm always working with other people in business so that we can share our challenges and our successes and hold each other accountable. And I thought I would share some of the mistakes that I have made that I know now if I had realized these things earlier and not made these mistakes, I would probably be where I am now a few years earlier. Where I am now is I own this business where we have 12 employees and our revenue is at it's a multiple six-figure revenue. Our employees there's really 4 of us that are full-time, and the rest of our employees are part-time, and they all work flexible hours. Good morning, Kelly. So that's where I've grown a business with, like I said, 12 employees, a wonderful employment structure because I believe in flexibility and freedom, and I want my employees to also have that. So, and I believe they love the working structure where they mostly can work from home or from the beach. Some of them are working this summer from their laptops and just get the job done. And if they need to take time off to be with their kids or some other issue, they're flexible as long as they get the work done. And they're amazing. Our employees are incredibly amazing here at Ghost Tweeting, and so we allow them to keep doing the great work that they do in the way that they do it. So that's where I have built my business and my life so that it supports me. And I wanted to talk about that with all of you because some people want to build a business to kind of have the business be their life and make loads of money or make a huge impact in the world. And while I want a lot of money and making a huge impact in the world, the most important thing to me has always been flexibility and freedom. And and thank you for those hearts. Yeah, if you believe in flexibility and freedom, then let me hear you with those hearts. I believe that entrepreneurship is the best solution to freedom and flexibility and fulfillment. So all those F's, FFF, freedom, flexibility, and personal fulfillment, and business fulfillment. So personal and professional fulfillment. But you have to do it in a certain way. And the mistakes that I made, because I knew I had to have my own business, and I knew I wanted freedom and flexibility and making good money. But after a few years of running my first business and even my second, I realized the business was running me and I did not have freedom and flexibility. I had loads of bosses. Every one of my clients was my boss. And I was working hours for dollars. I think that was probably my biggest mistake, number one, was that I thought I should charge for my time. While that is not necessarily wrong for every circumstance, it limited me. And the only way I could make money was to do more work. And when I was done with the work, the money stopped. And that's usually how most people start. I will charge you to do this for you. And then when someone hires you, you then have to do the work. And that's kind of obvious, right? But it limits you. So you can't make more money without working more, which gives you less freedom and flexibility and often less fulfillment. So what I learned to do was leverage. And what I mean by leverage is multiplying the impact of everything that I do. And I think that's one of the first things that helped me skyrocket and get to success quicker. Think about how you can multiply the impact of everything you're doing. Thank you. For example, these periscopes, if you're doing a periscope and you spend 10 minutes giving some great advice to your target audience, don't let it end there, because take that time you spent, 10 minutes, a half hour, and leverage it and reach more people and give more value and market yourself and get more visibility. So turn your Periscope video into a video on YouTube, put it on Facebook, put it on your website, transcribe it and make it a blog article, send it out in a newsletter. Why let anything that you do, so that 10 minutes to a half hour that you just spent can deliver so much more impact. That's exactly where I am now. Learning to scale, right? That's how you scale. And when we all start, and I remember thinking this too, I don't really need to think about scaling. I just want to get clients and make money. But if you can think, even when you're beginning, about how you can scale and leverage and multiply the impact of everything you do, even in the beginning when you're just starting to get clients, you will grow so much quicker, and you're going to thank yourself later, because in a few years, it will be a few years from now, no matter what. So you might as well be growing faster, so that in a few years, most people will take 10 years to get to where you can get to in 2 or 3 years, if you think about scaling and leveraging. The other mistake, thank you for the hearts. The other mistake that I made was not getting help. I did not get help soon enough. And it is scary and it's a risk. And what I mean is, you need to decide to invest in getting help. Perhaps it's an assistant. Perhaps it's paying a service to do something for you that takes you too long. Because you get to a place in your business where you are at a ceiling and you cannot spend more time. And you also sometimes think you don't have the money to hire someone else to do it. So it's almost a catch-22. I need to do it, but I don't have the time. But if I don't do it, hiring a coach, that's one of the things that can, yes. So get help for you to get things done, but also the coach and the mentors and the, yes. So it's kind of two different things in my mind. It's outsourcing to pros, either hiring an employee or an assistant, a virtual contractor, and getting a coach or a mentor to help lift you up. Someone who has been where you are, yes, helps you organize yourself, which means you will get successful quicker. You can try to learn how to do it all by yourself, or you could get someone to teach you the formula that works. Why try to do it all by yourself? And you know what is so great about being an entrepreneur? So many people are entrepreneurs and are in the same place as us. Yes, there are people out there who are scared to share, but most people are not. There are so many people who want to share, because we've all been there, or we're all in it now. And why not share? Because the more you share and help each other, the more you get out of it. So who doubled my income in 6 months? And if you hadn't gotten that coach to show you how to do that, which was probably a little scary to decide to invest the money and the time and the energy, but yes, we need a support group. Of course we do. I have several. My favorite success group at this point, I've been with them for 5 years or so, is Savor the Success. They're for women entrepreneurs. Savor the Success. If you don't know about them, you have to go look up savorthesuccess.com. So yes, they are about accountability and support and lifting each other up and asking questions and finding resources. And if not, you could even do this inexpensively or free. You can go to YouTube and look up motivational videos, TED Talks. But I have to say, when you decide to invest some money or commit to a group that you have to meet with, it takes you to another level. And I didn't mean for this Periscope to be about telling you to invest in coaching or accountability, but yes, get skin in the game. So I have belonged to many groups over the years where we would meet once a month and talk about business and give each other ideas. And they were great. But when I decided to pay a group where it was a little more money than I felt comfortable doing, I was not going to not do the work. And people were getting paid to hold me accountable, so they were not going to let me not do the work. And when I joined a group at Savor the Success, it was a high-level group for me at the time. And it was, it was thousands of dollars for the year. More than I was comfortable spending, and I knew it was right for me. And I think it was 4 months. Within 4 months, I created a new program that started bringing in 6 figures, and that turned into the business that I have today, Ghost Tweeting. And that was because of this group of 8 women that, you get me. Not all the time, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I have been in groups that cost a lot of money and I didn't get what I paid for. But you know what? You have to decide you're getting out of it something important anyway. Because you say, I paid for this, I'm in this, I'm committed, I'm doing it. I'm going to get out of this everything I can get out of it. But if you can find women who are, or women, I say women because I'm in this women's group, but I know not all of you are women. If you can find other entrepreneurs who have experience that you want, who have resources that you want, and you have other experience and resources that they want, it's a win-win for everyone. So it's getting help. And what I really meant by getting help was getting assistance. I did everything by myself when I first started my business, and then realized I have to hire other people because, masterminds and getting people to do like a virtual assistant, even if you don't want to hire an employee, someone who's a contractor where you just pay them per hour to do some work for you. How much more can you get done? If you took 1 or 2 hours instead of struggling and feeling overwhelmed about, creating code on a web page. If you spend a few hours doing what you're brilliant at, perhaps getting out there and marketing your company or working with a client who's paying you good money, instead of doing that job that just sucks your energy and sucks the life out of you, and you pay someone else for those few hours, you will succeed quicker. The year I finally invested in an assistant to do the work that was taking me too long, that's when I thought, why did I not do this a few years ago? I could have been much further ahead. 4 assistants haven't been successful. You know what? Keep going. It's most people don't get it right the first time. And you're just kind of lucky if you get it right the first time. But that's another reason to mastermind with other women, because you learn what they did wrong. I went through many assistants and can tell you, that could be a topic of discussion for another scope. But we could talk about what to look for in getting assistance, because there are probably things, and you look back now, there are things you ignored when you went to hire them, and you now know not to ignore them for the next time. So think about that. The cool thing is, if you can write out systems of what you need done in your office, you can hire someone for less money. If you can systemize, if you need a virtual assistant, before you hire anyone, write down the systems. This is another huge mistake I made, and now I'm obsessed with systems. Every single thing that you do that you'd prefer someone else to do, even if it's you doing it forever, write down the steps as if you're writing it down for like a 5-year-old or someone who doesn't understand well. Write it out, every single step. Pretend that you are not allowed to do this job for the next week and someone else has to do it just from your notes. When you have all of those things written out, sometimes, and I've done screencasts, so if it's something on, thank you for the share, Rick. Sometimes I've done a screencast if it's like, I need to show someone how to add our client to Hootsuite. So we have a new client, we need to add them to a Hootsuite, we need to put their Twitter account in. So I do it and talk it out as I'm doing it on the computer. I record it. You could do a screencast. I use, is it ScreenFlow? I think ScreenFlow for the Mac, but there's loads of apps out there that'll help you do it. And that's your system. And then I gave those systems to any new employee. And now they can do it. Now you could take a vacation and someone else can run your business. And that will save you money, because if you are paying someone hourly, and virtual assistants generally get paid hourly, you're amazing. You will save. So if you say to someone, I need you to figure out Hootsuite and put our clients on, it could take them 5 hours. But if you say, here's the system, do it, it could take them 30 minutes. So systems took me years. I fought systems. And like I said, now every single thing we have, I don't have it near me. I think it's on the other side of the room. We have this giant manual. It's our operations manual. And sometimes I don't even have to train the new people. I have the office manager who knows all the systems now train the new person. We had a new employee, a temporary employee a few months ago who came and sat at the desk next to our office manager, and she trained her, and I walked in once in a while and I listened. I didn't want to interrupt them. I get in the way now. So I get to watch our employees train other employees, and I get to, go to the beach and have coffee. Not really. I'm a little bit of a workaholic, so I'm always in my office working anyway. But this is how you leverage. Once you systemize everything you do, someone else. Tape yourself doing it and have someone else put it in steps. See, that's why it took me so long. I hated writing it down. So if you tape yourself doing it and then you tell someone else, an assistant, to write it down, then it's done. And then someone else could you're doubling yourself or tripling yourself, right? You're getting other people to do the same work. You're paying them an hourly rate, but you're making a heck of a lot more. You're making more money if 2 people are doing the work, because you're charging a premium and you're paying whatever the hourly rate is. And that's how we're still, obviously, my goal is to be a 7-figure business. We're at multiple 6-figure revenues. So obviously we have a ways to go, but this is what has brought me here very quickly. Exactly. If you want to clone yourself, you have to systemize everything you do. We all want to clone ourselves, right? The first thing you do is systemize so for the next week, it's going to take you a little while longer than just doing the job. And this is why it took me so long. I kept thinking, if I just do it instead of writing it down, it'll be done quicker. But then the next day I had to do it again. So finally, and we have every day, I will say to one of our employees, you know what, we have to do this thing. Could you write down the system, send it to me, I'll tweak it, and that goes in our manual. After years in business, we're still, the topic for today is about getting to success quicker as an entrepreneur. And right now we're talking about creating systems so you can clone yourself and do less work and make more money. It will take you some time to systemize, to document your system. One way to make that quicker is to record it on a video or audio or on a screencast on your computer, and have someone else write it down. But if you take the time for the next week, decide you're committing to doing systemizing for the next week, then you can clone yourself. You just have to say to someone, I can train you, but you just read these systems, just follow exactly what I do. I do happen to think the best thing was the screencasts. We have a bunch of apps that we need to use that are either online, or the screencasts have so helped me because it's showing exactly. We hired, I think 3 years ago, our first employee at Ghost Tweeting. And before she came in the first day, I created about 3 or 4 screencasts. And I said to her when she came in, spend the first 2 hours watching these screencasts. And by the end of the first day, she knew how to do everything. I don't like sitting with every new employee and showing them. I mean, it feels like such a waste to me. All they have to do is watch the video. I did it once now. ScreenFlow for Mac is what I use, yes. But I've heard of Camtasia, a lot of people talk about. I haven't used it. Get one. And I think there's probably free versions, but some of them are. Jing is a free software. Awesome. Thank you. So there. Otherwise, I think ScreenFlow cost about $30 or $40 for me. So worth it if you're going to be using this to train your new employees and your new assistants and your new anything for PC. I believe it's Camtasia is the one that I've heard. Anyone else have any thoughts on PC? Camtasia, great. So check out Camtasia. So many people rave about it, and do a few screencasts. In fact, I've done, you're a Mac dude, me too. I'm a Mac dude as well. When I do courses, which is another way to leverage what you're doing and reach more people in the world, instead of me having a class and have 5 people come in to teach them how to do Twitter and get business on Twitter, I created an online course. I had a teleseminar, taught to, many people who could call from around the world, then created videos on ScreenFlow on how to use the apps that we use to get more business, and to use Twitter most effectively. I created screencasts, ScreenFlows for that. Snag it, thank you. Keep those resources coming. And now I have videos when someone says to me, oh, how you talked about creating lists on Twitter. How do I do that? Oh, I don't have to spend 20 minutes telling you, or 40 minutes. I could just send you the link to the video. So create systems, document them, videotape them, and then get assistance. Get someone else to do it for you. So what holds you back on doing that? I think, you know what? I'll tell you what holds most people back. It's 2 things. Number one, it's the money. And I used to think it was the money only for me. The risk, the money, investing the money. And number 2 is the fear of letting go and not being in control. Exactly, Rick, because I can do it better. That's what we all think. And I used to think I was scared to hire someone because, what if after a few months I run out of money and I didn't make enough and there was no return on investment? But that really wasn't my biggest fear. I realized when I hired someone, I was like, the money, yes, it costs money, but I still wasn't letting them do it. I'm paying them and now I'm standing over their shoulder telling them how to do every step. You don't have to when you create these systems. They can be you. Now, of course, you have to trust them to add their own, allow them to be creative and add their own personality and their own brilliance, because everyone has something that you don't have, that they're better at than you. And I know we run our business better than anyone else can, but there are things, I will not touch some of the things. Asana, I don't use Asana. I use a whole bunch of other things. So we'll talk. I use let me think. Central Desktop is the online resource we use to keep Evernote. Yes, you use Evernote, and I use Central Desktop to keep all our files in one place. So our employees who are virtual can also look at everything. Our systems are all kept on Central Desktop. And if any of our account managers are working on a client's Facebook page, for example, they think, what should I do today? Just go look at the system. You don't have to think, what should I do? Our clients get consistent results because our account managers follow the system every single day. And when we first started, I was just doing it. And then my husband, who became my business partner, he started doing it, and it was all in our head. So when we had to hire someone else, we had to sit there over their shoulder to teach them what to do every day. And then we're like, no. And I hired someone who was good at systems to sit down with me and force me to write out the system. Central Desktop is one of my favorite. What was the other one? Starts with a B. If I think of it, I'll let you know. Google Drive is also great and free. But yes, you want to give consistent service, so you have to have systems. Basecamp, thank you, Rick. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. So yeah, I hired someone because I wasn't writing down the systems, and this person stood with me at my table and said, well, what's the next thing you do? Yes, Basecamp is great to help you collaborate with other people on your team. What's the next thing you do when you post on someone's Facebook? Where do you get that information? How do you write the tweet? What words do you use? Where do you find the resource? I had to spend a few hours writing this one little system on how we post on someone's Facebook, and how many times a day, and how many likes a day, and how many reaching out to other people, specifics. So think about what this does. Not only does it take it away from me, and now I've cloned myself. Anyone who I hire, I give the system to, and then they can do it the way I want them to. But number two, our clients are getting consistent service every day. So I can say to our clients, we're not one of those agencies who says they post for you on Facebook and then how many times? I don't know, a bunch of times. No, how many times? This many times a day, this many likes a day, this many new followers because we're reaching out this many times a day, this 20 minutes a day doing this. So systemizing gets you successful faster because you're cloning yourself. And your clients are happy, you're keeping them longer, you're getting more because they talk about how consistent your service is. You're not just, we don't get so busy that we can't get to your tweets today. No, it's on the system. And we have a system. So if our account managers have to reach a limit in how many clients they can handle each day, we have a system for hiring a new account manager and training them and then giving them a sample account and training them and watching them and then giving them a client. So every single thing. And that's why I say systems are never done. Thank you for the invitation and those gorgeous hearts. So systems are never done. And I've been in this, thank you, Rick. I've been in this business for a little over 4 years. And we have a giant, operations manual with systems. However, like I said, every single day it feels like something new comes up. So once we had systems for a new account manager to do the work for our clients, then when they got too busy, we realized we had to hire someone new. We needed a system for when does it happen when we need to look for someone new? What kind of post do we put out to a help wanted ad? Where do we put it? When they call in, how do we interview them? When do we call them in? What is our training like? When do we give them an actual client? How long do we test them for? These are all systems for growing your business. Without them, you can't grow. So systems, getting help, getting systems, systemizing in order to get help, I think that's the best thing you can do. So I want you all today, who this week is going to document systems, either by writing it out, typing it out, or recording yourself and screencasting it. So thank you for those hearts. So everyone, I think that's good for the day. Yay. I'm going to actually go shower off my run and get dressed and put on some makeup, and maybe when I feel all pretty, I'm going to come do another scope. And then I'm going to have a bingo party tonight with my girlfriends, and that's going to be fun. We all are bringing prizes and stealing prizes from each other, and hopefully having some margaritas on the patio. Looks like it's going to hold out, I think, sunny today. So big kisses to all of you. Have a fabulous Saturday. And to all of you, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for sharing. Feel free to watch the replay if you want some extra thank you. If you want some extra help on documenting your systems and getting more motivation so you can clone yourself, get to more higher figures, higher revenue quicker with so much less stress. Yay. Great day, everyone. Love you all. Thank you.